नावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। गजाननं भूतगणाधिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बोफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी। विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्। एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। सदा स्मेरवक्त्रं कृपापूर्णनेत्रं स्थिरं दीनमित्रं जनप्रीतिपात्रं सुविज्ञातशास्त्रं कषायाक्तवस्त्रं दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे। दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे। I am in Baroda right now. It's a senior citizen home, which I had booked about 7 years back. I come here for a few days, and temperature here is 44.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's too much, and my cell phone is saying your device is overheating. Mobile data, Wi-Fi hotspot, GPS, and camera will be restricted. So I'm saying okay. So please bear with me in case there's any disturbance. We have two boys in Mahabharata. One was Abhimanyu, the son of Arjun. The other was Ghatotkacha. He was the son of Bhima. Okay. These two boys really created havoc in the Kaurava army until had to be killed by hook or crook. Arjuna married Subhadra, the sister of Krishna. In fact, Krishna's brother Balrama was very close to Duryodhan, and he wanted Subhadra to marry Duryodhan. But Arjuna came in the form of a sannyasi, and he carried away Subhadra because the two were in love. Now Subhadra had this son. Subhadra had a son, Abhimanyu, who right in the womb itself, he learned all about how to fight a war by breaking this chakra vyuha. Chakra vyuha formation is a particular strategy employed by the army in order to protect the entire army from being attacked. Okay, and Abhimanyu, so he learned how to break open this formation, Chakravyuha, right when he was in his mother's womb. But by the time Arjuna was explaining the Chakravyuha, how to break it open, he was explaining to Subhadra. Subhadra went to sleep. And the full, complete secret could not be taught. So Abhimanyu learned half the secret, how to break the Chakravyuha and enter into the enemy camp. But he did not know how to return by breaking the Chakravyuha from inside. Now the war had gone many days, and Arjuna was busy in one particular area of the war. And in another area of the war, Yudhishthira was fighting, and this Kaurava army was trying to capture Yudhishthira. So Arjuna was nowhere in the picture. He was away in another area. Abhimanyu was there. So my other brothers, they approached Abhimanyu and said, so please help us to break into the enemy formation. So please help us to break the Chakravyuha. Abhimanyu said, I know only how to enter, I do not know how to come back. So Bhima said, don't worry, we are all with you. We will see that you come back alive. Now Abhimanyu, he took heart and he said, yes, I'll go ahead. And with his secret knowledge, he broke open the Chakravyuha, went into the enemy camp. But by the time the others could follow, Bhima and all, they wanted to follow Abhimanyu, but they were cut off by the Kauravas. So Abhimanyu was trapped in between, and all the warriors came down on Abhimanyu, and single-handed Abhimanyu was fighting with all of them. So this included Uday Acharya, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Jayadratha. And this Jayadratha's plan was to allow Abhimanyu to come in and to cut off all the others. So, and all this Kaurava army, they started attacking Abhimanyu. And finally, they all together fought with Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu was single-handed. And really, Abhimanyu fought like a tiger, like a lion, and died fighting. Abhimanyu's son was not yet born. He was in the womb of Uttara. Uttara was the daughter of King Virata. And the Pandavas were hiding in Virata's kingdom. Arjuna has Brihanala. So Arjuna was this woman, Brihanala. And he taught, Brihanala taught the daughter of Uttara, the daughter of Virata, dancing. And once the Pandavas were identified, Virata was very happy. There's some disturbance. Same with the
No, your voice, there is a slight break sometimes.
my voice is it? Okay.
Yes, yes. There's a little bit echo.
Acha. I'll just see if I can open a window to reduce the echo. I hope this is better.
This is better.
Okay, okay. So King Virata was very happy, and he said, "I want my daughter to be married to Arjuna because Arjuna is she taught dancing skills to my daughter." Now Arjuna, he was not very happy with this suggestion. He said, "I was Uttara's teacher, so she is equal to my daughter. I cannot marry her. But if you insist, you can get her married to my son Abhimanyu." So this was how Abhimanyu and Uttara got married, and they had a child. Child was so he was born, and
We are not able to hear you, sir. I don't know. What about the others? Are they able to hear?
No, sir.
not able to hear.
No, sir. Speech is cutting. Very scratchy.
Okay. Just a minute. I'll switch off my video and I'll come outside of that.
No, you can
Voice
put off
is-
the video, sir. I think that is better actually. Otherwise,
I'll put off the video.
we are not able to hear anything. Is anybody able to hear anything?
No, sir. We're not
No,
able.
no. No, sir. No.
Absolutely no. Now it is zero audio.
Not
Yeah,
at all.
just
Yeah.
I think this is better now. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear.
Achha. Abhimanyu married Uttara, the daughter of Virata, and he had a son called Parikshit, who followed uh, as the king of Hastinapura after Yudhishthira. Okay, so the story of Abhimanyu is a very standing example of young at heart but brave like a lion, willing to sacrifice himself for the larger good. Similarly, we have Ghatotkach. Ghatotkach was the son of Bhima. When the Pandavas were in the forest for a number of years, so Bhima was attacked by one. Actually, Bhima was Bhima saw this a lady called Hidimba who fell in love with Bhima, and Hidimba's brother was Hidimbasur. So he attacked Bhima, and Bhima killed Hidimbasur, the sister of this Rakshas. So was enraptured by Bhima's strength and looks, and she married him. They had a son called Ghatotkach. So Ghatotkach was again, he was from a Rakshasa family, even though he was born to Bhima. And he had all the qualities of Asura. So during the war, he was called upon to fight against the Kauravas. These Rakshasas, they become more strong at night. And the Mahabharata war had degenerated into winning at all cost. So the last few days of the war, all rules of dharma were thrown to the wind, and even night fighting, which is not really as part of the war etiquette. So the night fighting also started because there was a frenzy to complete the war, and somehow, hook or by crook, we should win over the enemy. So in such a situation, the Pandavas were being thoroughly demoralized by the Duryodhana, and the Pandavas called upon Ghatotkach to fight in the war. And Ghatotkach came with his all friends who are all Rakshasas. All of them were fighting in the war, and they became stronger as the night became darker and darker. Until Karna used a certain weapon which he had reserved to kill Arjuna. So this weapon was used against Ghatotkach, and Ghatotkach fell down and he died. In the process, Arjuna's life was saved. Okay, Karna had kept this particular weapon to kill Arjuna, which was neutralized by Ghatotkacha. So these two young boys, they fought like lions and they died like heroes. So Mahabharata is a story of heroes. There's a very interesting story about Hanuman. So Hanuman was present throughout the war in Arjuna's chariot as the flag of a monkey. Once the war was over, Hanuman was asked, "How did you find this war?" So, what were the highlights of this war? Hanuman said, "I got bored as soon as I came and saw the war. I got bored because I saw people fighting with bows and arrows. In my time, I was fighting and witnessed the war between Ram and Ravan. So that war was really a war to remember. We used to fight with boulders and mountains and trees. So it was not mere bow and arrow. So when I saw the Mahabharata war, I got bored. I went to sleep. In between, 2 times I woke up because I heard some great commotion. One was when when Bhishma was fighting on the last day, on the 10th day. Bhishma was unstoppable and he fought like a lion and he was killed by Arjuna. So the war between Arjuna and Bhishma really woke me up. But by the time I woke up, Bhishma had died and I again went back to sleep. Next time I woke up was when Abhimanyu was fighting with all the Kaurava heroes and single-handedly he fought them off until all of them surrounded him and together attacked him and killed him. So that was the time I woke up, but by the time I woke, Abhimanyu had died. So whole Mahabharata, I remember only 2 incidents, ek Buddha or ek Bacha. Buddha was Bhishma and Bacha was Abhimanyu. The rest of the war, I got really bored. I went to sleep. Okay, so this is the contribution of these two youngsters, Abhimanyu and Ghatotkacha. Having finished the story time, we come to chapter 3, in which Arjuna asks, "Why are you making me committed to action when you say that we are all beyond action?" Atma does not engage in any action. Atma does not die. The self, Atma is your real self. That self is always intact. It never dies. It never acts also. So if I'm acting, that means I'm going against my nature. My nature is to be free from action. If I take sannyasa, I think I'll be free from action. But you tell me to fight in this war, which is a fierce action. A tragedy is about to happen through this war. I don't want any part of it. I will be tied down to action and I'll be tied down to the results of this action, which is pain and guilt, sorrow, loss of my near and dear ones, and the guilt of me having killed them. So why are you dragging me back into this war when I want to get away from it? So between sannyasa and karma, be very specific. Tell me one thing which I should do. Should I leave this war? Should I fight this war? So Krishna, he says, both sannyasa and karma, they are choices which you can make provided you have wisdom to make the choice. Sannyasa is a choice which is made by people who are qualified for sannyasa. Generally, when you start your life, you start as a brahmachari, then you go into grahastha ashrama, then you go into vanaprastha, and last is sannyasa. So at the end of your life, you focus only on spirituality, everything else becomes by the way. When you are in the first part of your life, you are learning about human potential. You are learning to maximize your efforts and maximize your gain. This is part of a grahastha life. Right? As a brahmachari, you're studying about how to live life. As a grahastha, you are living your life and making your life a success. A time comes when you retire and hand over the decisions and hand over the actions to the younger generation. And you bless them as a mentor, as a guide. So this is the vanaprastha state. You become a guide to the youngsters. You help them and you advise them and you give your own examples of how you handle conflicts which they are facing right now. So you become advisors, you become teachers. So this is the vanaprastha stage. You don't directly get into action. You stand apart, watch the others, and help them as a coach, as a guide, as a mentor. So this is the vanaprastha stage. Now the sannyasa stage is when the children have become independent and they don't really require your advice. In fact, your advice is outdated, right? Because they have lived a life and times have changed. So all your advice may not really be appropriate. That is the time when you focus on your own spirituality. So sannyasa is taken by people who are qualified for sannyasa. They have lived a life of karma. At the end of their life, they are taking sannyasa. So they are qualified for sannyasa. There are some people who right from young days onwards, they take sannyasa. They are qualified not by age, they are qualified by aptitude. By aptitude, they are sannyasis. So their mind is already focused and they are pursuing spirituality right from their young days. So for such people, right from brahmacharya, instead of going into grahastha and vanaprastha, straight away they can take sannyasa. So sannyasa is either taken when you have no other responsibilities and you have all the time to pursue spirituality, or you have an aptitude of sannyasa right from your childhood days. So you don't take on any responsibility and you live a contemplative life. Right? For anybody else, taking sannyasa means it's an escape. It is an escape from action. Arjuna, just like you think that you want to get away from this war. So it will not be a noble motive, it will be more of an escapism. Right? So, as far as my advice, Krishna's advice is that karma is better than akarma. Doing karma is better than not doing karma. Because if you don't do karma, your mind is a devil's workshop. So an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So you'll find something to do which may not be healthy for you. You may get into addictions of different kinds and get carried away by them. Therefore, it is better to follow a routine of karma. Please follow your swadharma. If karma is better, yes. Hello.
No, nothing. Please go ahead, sir.
Karma is better than akarma. And if you think that you will get away from karma by giving up this war, that would be hypocrisy. Because physically you are giving up karma, but in your mind you will still be fully active, and you will still be connected to the war. Okay, physically you can get away from the war, but mentally you will still be involved. That means you will be a hypocrite. Anybody who who avoids karma because it is painful or because it is unpleasant and goes away, such people are not sannyasis, they are more of hypocrites. What about karma? Karma is a blessing. Karma is a blessing because it gives you an opportunity for you to manage your mind. Think about karma as a field of experience where you can train your mind. You can train your mind to become skillful. You can train your mind to become focused. You can train your mind to be compassionate. You can train your mind to be strong, to withstand difficulties, and also to cooperate with others. Krishna talks about karma, I think in a 4th chapter, where he talks about the Lord himself has blessed humanity with karma, and the Lord says that through karma may you please the gods, and the gods will please you in return by giving you their blessings. So, mutually blessing each other. So, through karma, you help the gods. Through their blessings, they help the human beings. So, may both of you prosper through karma. So, karma is a tool for prosperity, provided you work as a team. This is what Krishna talks about as a yajna. A yajna is in which you invoke the devatas and they will bless you in return. Now, a yajna is one of the examples of karma which represent a sense of contribution. Yajna is a contribution. Through karma, you are contributing to society. Whatever role that you have in life, when you play your role, this is called swadharma. When you play your role in society, you are contributing to society. Everybody has got a different role. When everybody plays their roles, the society functions well. So each person's role is different from another. Therefore, your swadharma is different from my swadharma. If everyone contributes to society through their karma, then society grows beautifully. A yajna represents this sense of cooperation. In every activity, there can be cooperation, there can be coming together of minds and creating a beautiful world. Yajna also is in a same way. You are contributing to the universe and the universe is blessing you. You are contributing to the devatas are blessing you. So this becomes a mutual contribution. We are social animals, we are not independent of society. Therefore, we cannot really work only for our own benefit. When we are working for our own needs, we are also part of society. Therefore, we have to keep the society's needs also into consideration. Krishna says, the one who works only for his own private needs without caring for society is like a thief. A thief takes what does not belong to him. He takes from others without giving anything in return. So here also, a selfish person is the one who takes from society and does not give anything in return. Karma blesses you when you play your role well, so that playing your role becomes your contribution. So every action becomes a yajna when you see it as an asset for society. The question is, are you a consumer or are you a contributor? Well, ideally, we are both. We are consumers, we are also contributors. But a selfish person is consuming more, contributing less. A selfless person is contributing more and consuming less. And the whole of spirituality is modeled on taking the minimum and giving the maximum. Spirituality is consuming the minimum. So do not destroy the resource of society, conserve the resources. So consume the minimum and contribute the maximum. So this is called the Yajna Bhava. Krishna says, if you function with this attitude, no sorrow will touch you. You will become a person, a spiritual person. As a spiritual person, you are qualified for self-knowledge. So doing your karma, you work your way towards self-knowledge. Prepare your mind to be ready for this knowledge. And when you are ready, the student is ready, the teacher will come. So this is the promise of spirituality. Focus on your contribution, what you can give to society. Don't worry about what I can get. I think this is also what Robert Kennedy said. Do not ask what America can give you. Ask yourself what you can give to the country. Okay, don't expect the country to take care of you. Ask yourself, what are you doing to take care of the country? So this is the Yajna Bhava. So Yajna highlights the interdependent nature of society. And Krishna says the one who does not contribute is no less than a thief. And how do you contribute to society? You don't have to go out of your way to contribute. May your work itself be a contribution. So your Swadharma is a contribution. So this is called the ecological cycle. You have been given a station in life. You are working towards fulfilling your duties. Through fulfilling your duties, others' rights are fulfilled. When others fulfill their duties, your rights are fulfilled. Right? So when each person is contributing, everybody enjoys, everybody gets the results. When everybody is fighting for results, then it becomes tu mai mai. Some people become successful. Many people fall out of the way because they cannot compete. So our society, the Hindu society, is a non-competitive society. We believe in contribution, we believe in cooperation. So through cooperation, this is also the concept of a joint family. In a joint family, we are all working together. We are all one family. Therefore, there's no question of my money, your money. It is something, a common asset. And again, all money is basically, it is a resource. It is a resource for use. A resource is not meant for hoarding. A resource is meant for using. So let all your contribution not be towards hoarding of riches and wealth, let it be towards recycling of riches and wealth. Everything has to be recycled. Now you can recycle wealth either by uh, giving dole, you're giving money to a beggar. That is one way of recycling. Another way of recycling is giving jobs to people. So when you create an industry, you're giving jobs to people, so that itself becomes a contribution to society, right? So without leaving your station, you are a net contributor. If you have that attitude, you will find your life will become better and better. Don't worry about losing out on sannyasa. Sannyasa as a lifestyle is not meant for everyone. But sannyasa as the spiritual fulfillment is possible for everyone. Sannyasa as spiritual fulfillment is possible for everyone. That sannyasa is not in terms of giving up of action. That sannyasa is in terms of recognizing your real nature, which is always free from action. Know yourself, you're always free from action. Therefore, you are not tied down by karma or karma phala. You are not tied down by the consequences of action. You are not tied down by the flow of likes and dislikes or joy and sorrow. You are beyond joy and sorrow. You are beyond likes and dislikes. So don't allow likes and dislikes to rule your life. When you allow likes and dislikes to rule your life, you become dependent on likes and dislikes. You become dependent on situations. You become dependent on 101 things. When you learn to manage your likes and dislikes, you become more and more independent. So that is a goal of spirituality. Become more and more independent. Do not run after likes and dislikes. Learn to manage them and focus. This is what in second chapter Krishna talks about as a mind which is single pointed. A mind which is single pointed, you know what you want, you know your priorities, you know your ultimate priorities. So let all your activities be centered around that ultimate priority. If you do not have that ultimate priority, you will be running after 101 things. And no matter how much you achieve, you'll always feel it is not enough. This is the secret of moksha. Moksha is the ultimate fulfillment. If you get that, then you never have that sense of my life is incomplete. Moksha is a very recognition of your complete self. This is a teaching of Bhagavat Gita. You are complete as you are. You are secure as you are. You are fulfilled as you are. You don't have to become fulfilled. You have to recognize your fulfilled nature. This is what is talked about as knowledge. So this knowledge is Brahma Vidya in Gita. For this Brahma Vidya, you live a life of Karma Yoga. It is called as Yoga Shastram. So Yoga Shastram is a life of spirituality in which you learn to contribute, and your contribution becomes a prayer, it becomes a puja. With that sense of contribution, when you work, you are no longer hijacked by likes and dislikes. You are not afraid of joy and sorrow. You accept both with samatvam. So samatvam yoga uchyate, the ability to take things in your stride without being thrown off balance. If you have that quality, you are a spiritual person. Now, as a spiritual person, you realize that spirituality also has a limit. No matter how much spiritual you become, there's always a sense of, I could do better. In this sense, spirituality and materialism have a common nature. Material achievement, you can always think of, I could have achieved a little bit more. Okay? No matter how much I have got, I still feel I could have got a little more, and that would make me more complete. That is why you find that even the richest man in the world is investing his money to become more rich and is worried about losing his money. He's worried about losing his money because he knows that wealth cannot be depended upon. Wealth cannot be depended upon. Therefore, I need more of it. Now, more of it will never come because no matter how far you go, there's always room for more. The same thing is true in spirituality. No matter how much you contribute, no matter how wise you become, no matter how independent you become, there's always room for more. Okay? So when you have understood that even spirituality has its limits, I can keep on becoming more and more spiritual, but the end is never in sight. The end is complete fulfillment. Complete fulfillment cannot come by doing more or getting more. Complete fulfillment can come by knowing that all more and less is part of creation, and you are independent of creation. You are the reality of creation. So, this is the truth of Bhagavad Gita. You are the reality of creation. You are not a creature dependent on creation. You are the reality of creation who appears as his entire creation. His entire creation is nothing but myself appearing differently. One self has become many things in creation. So, this is a story of one becoming many. Later on in the subsequent chapters, Krishna will be talking about the process of creation, how one becomes many. We'll be seeing that, but for the time being, the third chapter says Karma Yoga is a way to becoming more and more spiritual, and only a spiritual person is qualified for sannyasa. If you are not spiritual, sannyasa is something dangerous, because sannyasa, you will be missing out on the benefits of action. At the same time, sannyasa will not give you moksha because you are not ready for it. So better, don't ask which is better. Start with karma. Karma is definitely better than akarma. So use karma with the yajna attitude and become spiritual. Become a contributor. Become a manager of your own mind. Become a manager of your own likes and dislikes. Become a manager of your own joys and sorrows. So when you're able to be effective in life, you're an effective manager. And you are contributing, your contribution is a form of prayer. So it becomes spiritual in itself. You are ready for the ultimate fulfillment. That ultimate fulfillment in the fourth chapter, it is said that you have to go to a teacher Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. You have to go to the teacher to get this knowledge, and the teacher will bless you because the teacher is rooted in knowledge. He is a jnani, he is a tattvadarshi. He has this knowledge, he is also rooted in that knowledge. Therefore, he has found fulfillment of knowledge. If you want ultimate fulfillment, you have to go to a teacher, get this knowledge, and become fulfilled. Fulfillment is not a product of a process. Fulfillment is what you are. What you are needs to be recognized. This is where the role of the teacher comes in. The teacher shows you a mirror to see yourself as you are. Once you recognize yourself, you are no longer insecure. You are no longer having the sense of, I am wanting, I am incomplete. When you see yourself as you are, you recognize your completeness, and that becomes ultimate fulfillment. You come to the point when you say, I don't depend on anything, I don't need anything, I am complete as I am. Krishna talks about this person as a real sannyasi. It is not a person who gives up action who is a sannyasi, but a person who has discovered this knowledge that I am complete as I am. Such a person is a real sannyasi. Right? We will stop here for questions. I also want to ask you a question. As a retired person, as a senior citizen, how do you see yourself as a contributor? How do you see yourself as someone who is looking for ultimate fulfillment? How do you see yourself? Because this is a stage in life when your responsibilities are minimum and your time is maximum. So we have to manage our time. For some people, you don't have enough time, therefore you get stressed. For some people, you have too much time, therefore we get stressed. We don't know what to do. So how do you see yourself? Where do you fall in?
So as far as I am concerned,
Yeah.
one thing I always learned is God has given three things to us in our lifetime. One is time, second is health, third is money. But God has made sure that all the three doesn't come at the same time in your life. So when you are young, you have a lot of time and you are
Right.
healthy. When you are in your mid-age, you got money is not a problem, health is not a problem, but you don't have time. And for people like us who are senior citizens, with God's grace, if there is money and a lot of time, but health will start deteriorating.
Health is
So
issue.
getting all the three together is we are blessed, it's a blessed person. So I will only say for people like us, retired people, all of us, God has been kind to us if we have got all the three. And the concept of giving to the society, actually, that thought process comes only once you are out of that rat race of earning money in your lifetime, because there is a responsibility for you, for the family. So up to the age of 60 or whatever, we are really working very hard, become very late. There is very little time for all this contribution to the society. But my experience is once I have retired, my thought process has really become very different. So the contribution to the society, whatever is there, is coming now, and that is only because we have time. Because particularly in a city like ours, it is not that people don't want to contribute; people want to contribute, but it is lack of time in their mid-years and the earning time.
Correct, correct, correct. Very nice, very nice.
Sir, I want to say something.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
Sir, as a senior citizen, sometimes I feel helplessness.
Yeah.
Because contribution to the society for me started from childhood onwards. It is not lack of time or having time or more time, no time. Because something I see means I have to contribute. Say, as a child also, okay, 5 rupees is there, give 1 rupee to the needy person. Or some service is required to teach something, give it to them. So contribution to the society from the beginning it is there. But as on today, as a senior citizen, I feel lot of frustration really seeing to the society. Corruption, indiscipline, and no patriotism at all. So many negative things all I'm seeing. But
True.
how much positive can it be? If I come out of the house, everything is negative thing only, negative energy only. So that is really, I feel frustration. I thought, okay, our chapter is over, let it be, no problem. So क्या करें, क्या कर सकते हैं हम, अभी हो गया हमारा time. That feeling I get.
True. Okay, can I come in?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Just like working for wealth, there is no end. Okay, you always feel you could have done, you could have got more. You could have worked harder, you could have got more. There is no end. The same thing is true of social work also. It's frustrating because no matter how hard you, how much you contribute, how hard you work towards benefiting the society, you always feel that it is never enough. Okay, there's a story of this fisherman. So he was standing in the beach, and there were a whole lot of starfish that had been washed ashore. And this man was taking one by one the starfish and throwing it back into the sea so that they survive. Somebody came and asked him, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm trying to save the starfish." "Oh, there are thousands of them here, and with every tidal wave, more are coming and more are getting stranded on the beach. How many of them can you save?" He says, "I cannot save all of them." Okay, but definitely it makes a difference to the one I save. Correct? My contribution makes a difference to that one starfish who got saved. So I'm not trying to change the world. I'm just trying to contribute my bit. So whatever little bit it can make a difference, that is my contribution. So when you focus on what you can do rather than what cannot be done, what cannot be done is frustration. What you can do empowers you. So where are you? That is the whole thing about it.
Very nice.
So,
Story is very nice, sir. But
yes,
practically key and go out. Really frustrating. Especially
correct.
nowadays generation, and after we go out, then it's really satisfying life.
Ma'am,
And day by day,
I,
it is degenerating. Day by
I
day,
want
the
to give,
moral
I want
values
to
and
give you,
everything are going down.
Samtaji, I want to
That
give you your own example. आपका ही example. You have written 30 plays, right?
Ji.
Okay. With this 30 plays, how many people you have inspired? Please tell me. You have inspired any amount of people. Okay.
Many are there because I'm a team
Correct.
lady. I never wanted to work alone. I wanted always to encourage
Exactly.
others. As a team, I wanted to go. That's the reason
Exactly.
I encourage many people. Definitely more than 100.
So you created a team. That is your contribution. Okay. As one person, you can help only a few people, but with a team, you can extend your reaches even beyond the city limits. So MRL is spread even beyond Bombay, I think. Right?
Sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that is a real contribution. And we all feel that we are part of your family. Okay, so you built a family. You built a family. That is a contribution. So, but one thing is true. As Samtaji, you feel, that you feel frustrated because you can't do more and the world you can't change. Right? Spirituality says start by changing yourself. When you change yourself, you become like a magnet. So people are attracted to you and they start changing. I attended that police officers seminar at, and was it engineering college? Yeah. So see that one person, how much he has done for society, how much he has done. And not by moving away from his line of work. In part, his own line of work, he has contributed and made it as an asset for society. What work he is doing has become an asset for society. So that contribution cannot be measured. So work on yourself. When you work on yourself, you become a contributor. Don't ask what you can give. Ask yourself, what have you become? What have you given? How empowered have you become? So we have to start with empowerment, self-empowerment. We can only help a few people at a time.
Yes, sir. True.
Okay? So we always start from there. And कहते हैं मैं तो चलता रहा कारवा तो बनता रहा. I kept moving and a whole caravan started following me. I didn't look back and see who is following. I just continued to do what I do best. And automatically people start following me. So that is the way you inspire people. So contribution is by setting an example. This is what Krishna says, Yadyad acharati sreshtaha tattadeva itaro janaha. Whatever a leader does, the other people follow. So whatever standard he sets, the other people point out those standards and say whether it is a good standard or is it a double standard. Okay, so if you believe and you are actually contributing, people will look up to you and they will also join the gang. So we are all part of the gang.
That is not happening, sir. Nowadays,
Yeah.
that is not happening. Selfish people are becoming many. Poor people are becoming poorer.
True. True.
Continuous observation is going on.
What does that tell you? That tells you that we cannot have all the power in the world. Okay? We are human beings. We are not Bhagwan. We are human beings. As human beings, we naturally will have that sense of frustration because the world is not perfect. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. Therefore, we are struggling in this imperfect world. But what Bhagavat Gita says is, I am okay to manage my imperfection. I am okay to accept this world, this imperfect world. It is okay. I can work in this imperfect world and find my niche. Let me find my niche so that I can contribute the maximum. Okay? And I don't have to point fingers and say, you are not okay. I can say that I am okay to manage your behavior also. I am okay to manage that. I don't have to complain. I can deal with you. I can deal with you one way or the other. Therefore, I don't have to worry about what others are doing. Somewhere I have to empower myself.
Control the controllables.
Yeah. Control the controllers. वो कहते हैं ना क्या दुनिया झुकती है झुकाने वाला चाहिए. So somewhere we have to find out, how we can build a team in which everybody has got a special quality. What quality I don't have, you will have. So let us all come together so that we become more powerful. So this also contribution requires different strengths. So let us invoke people with different strengths so that we can share our dream. Let us share our dream. I think that's the best contribution you can do. Yes.
Thank you, sir. You have got
Yes.
the answer for every problem.
Very. I try. I don't have answers, but I try to explore. I try to explore. Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. I have another session after this, so I'll close right now.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.